allow me to begin by saying good morning. And more importantly, thank you very much for being here. You see, I was unsure if anyone would even show up today. This past week, I received several emails, 9 to be certain, and I read them carefully because, not to my surprise, but there was a common theme or a thread that wove them all together. And I really did look very carefully at these 9 emails, and I highlighted 5 words that were present in each of them. And I would like to share those words this morning with you. Anger, frustration, disappointment, disgust, and sadness. Anger, frustration, disappointment, disgust, and sadness. Those words weren't just from parishioners who reached out to me. They are indeed my words as well. I was angered, frustrated, gravely disappointed, severely disgusted, and extremely saddened as I skimmed through the 900-page Pennsylvania grand jury indictment, which, much to the dismay of so many, chronicled decades of abuse by 300 predator priests affecting over 1,000 children. Coupled with that, in the past couple of weeks, we've been forced to hear the former Archbishop of Washington, D.C., Theodore McCarrick, resigning from the College of Cardinals because of credible allegation that he sexually molested a child, and did so for years. Just up the road in Brighton, St. John's Seminary, there is an ongoing investigation into impropriety. We have heard of bishops in Chile and Australia who have been forced to resign because of years, decades of cover-up. And like so many of you, I am forced to relive that which we first discovered 16 and a half years ago. And I scream out, when will it end? A Jewish friend of mine contacted me and said, "Hey, bad week for the church, huh?" I thought about those words. And you know what I've come to realize? That no, it was not a bad week for the church. In point of fact, it was a good week for the church. Sure, our image is once again tarnished. There are some who have chosen to stay home. Our moral credibility is once again in question. But it will only come to an end when abusers are no more and those who cover up are punished. Here we are in the middle, or towards the end of our Bread of Life discourse, and I realize that that's really the only thing that is keeping me going right now. The fact that Jesus wants to heal you and me in the Eucharist. He gives us that spiritual medicine, the bread of life, to enliven us. But I find myself drawn to the powerful words of St. Paul written to the Christian community at Ephesus. Paul writes, "Watch carefully how you live, not as foolish persons, but as wise, making the most of the opportunity because the days are evil. Therefore, do not continue in ignorance, but try to understand what is the will of the Lord. We cannot live in ignorance any longer. We need to face the harsh reality and grow. I would like to reach out to all of our younger parishioners and speak words directly to you this morning. As long as I continue as your pastor, I will do everything in my power to ensure that you find safe haven here at St. Mary's. And I make that promise wherever my ministry may lead me. To everyone else, I once again find myself apologizing. It is your faith that keeps priests like Monsignor Hoy and I going. Your faith, that which is so strong, that keeps us going when the storms rage around us. You know something? Let me strike something that I said earlier. This was not a good week for the church. It was a great one.